a secret tape, a terrified mogul. The whispers started years ago, hushed rumors about lavish parties and a dark side of Hollywood. Now, a courtroom bombshell threatens to expose it all, and the name on everyone's lips is Justin Bieber. What did he see? What did he know? And will he finally break his silence? The courtroom air crackled with tension. Diddy, a man who built an empire on power and untouchability, sat visibly shaken. His attorney, caught completely off guard, could only watch as the prosecution dropped a bombshell. Video evidence featuring a teenage Justin Bieber. The room fell silent. This wasn't just another lawsuit. This was something different. The weight of the new indictment, the 2 additional victims, hung heavy in the air. News of Diddy's recent hospital visit, following his transfer to a federal prison, added another layer of complexity to the unfolding drama. This wasn't the Diddy everyone knew, the confident, charismatic mogul. This was a man facing the potential collapse of his carefully constructed world. The whispers started circulating. What exactly was on that tape? Was it the smoking gun? Was this the beginning of the end? The carefully crafted image of Sean Combs, the hip-hop king, was beginning to crumble. The aura of invincibility, so carefully cultivated over decades, was suddenly shattered. But to understand the gravity of this moment, we need to rewind. Diddy, once the king of hip-hop, is now fighting for his legacy, his freedom, and possibly his entire empire. Multiple lawsuits, federal charges. The chaos is overwhelming. The accusations range from sexual assault to trafficking, creating a tangled web of legal battles. Even his co-defendant in a civil case, Jay-Z, has publicly slammed the attorney behind the case, alleging substantial inaccuracies and a failure to properly investigate. This civil lawsuit, filed on behalf of a Jane Doe, accuses Diddy and Jay-Z of rape. The alleged victim? A 13-year-old girl at the time of the 2000 Video Music Awards. The details are disturbing, painting a picture of a predatory environment where power and influence were allegedly used to exploit the vulnerable. It's a story that echoes the disturbing accounts coming out of Hollywood, a story of abuse and silence, a story that seems to repeat itself across industries and generations. Whispers of a dark, predatory lifestyle have begun to surface, with even some of Diddy's closest allies seemingly distancing themselves. The stories are chilling, rumors of lavish parties, excessive drug use, and a culture of fear. And right in the center of this storm is Justin Bieber. A resurfaced montage of Bieber as a young teen in Hollywood, surrounded by adults, feels deeply unsettling. The way these grown men interact with him, it triggers a sense of violation. The forced smiles, the suggestive comments, it all feels deeply inappropriate. For years, rumors swirled about Diddy's influence over the young pop star. But after Diddy's arrest, fans began connecting the dots. Why was Bieber always around him as a kid? Why did Diddy speak about their time together like it was some kind of secret rite of passage? What kind of mentorship was this? Bieber's rise to fame was meteoric, but it also came with a dark side, a world of pressure and potential exploitation. He was thrust into the spotlight at a very young age, surrounded by adults who were supposed to be guiding him, protecting him. But was that really the case? Then came the resurfaced footage. A 2009 clip shows Diddy boasting about spending 48 hours with 15-year-old Bieber. What we're doing, we can't really disclose. Diddy brags, grinning at the camera. Bieber, sitting beside him, plays along, a nervous smile plastered on his face. At the time, it seemed like an odd exchange. Now, in the context of the current allegations, it looks sinister. The implications are chilling. What happened during those 48 hours? What kind of influence did Diddy exert over this young, impressionable teenager? The casual way Diddy talks about it, the veiled references, it all raises serious questions. It's a glimpse behind the curtain, a hint of the dynamics at play. Suddenly, young Justin Bieber, signed by Usher, is being placed in the hands of Diddy. And the allegations surrounding Diddy's relationship with Usher, the claims that he initiated Usher into Hollywood, cast an even darker shadow on this situation. The allegations against Diddy regarding Usher are disturbing in their own right, hinting at a pattern of exploitation. It's an open secret, some claim, that Diddy's influence extended to many young artists. He seemed to cultivate a role as a mentor, a father figure. But was it something more sinister? Was it a calculated strategy to gain access to vulnerable young talent? Who allowed Justin Bieber to be in this man's presence? Why weren't there more safeguards in place to protect him? Where were the adults who were supposed to be looking out for his best interests? This isn't just about Diddy, it's about the system that enabled him. The unthinkable happened in the courtroom. The prosecution produced a video, evidence so significant that Diddy's legal team immediately objected. But it was too late. The judge allowed it. The defense demanded copies of the video, wanting to analyze its contents. What was on that tape? Was it proof of the allegations? Was it something even more disturbing? The tension in the room was palpable. Everyone knew this video could be a game changer. It was a moment of high drama, a potential turning point in the case. The video became a symbol, a representation of the secrets that were about to be revealed. For years, Bieber has dodged questions about his early career, his mentors, the industry figures who shaped him. But since Diddy's legal troubles began, Bieber has been making quiet moves. He unfollowed Usher, the man who introduced him to Diddy. He cut ties with Scooter Braun, his longtime manager, the man who was supposed to protect him. These actions speak volumes. Are they an admission of guilt, or are they a desperate attempt to distance himself from a toxic situation? The silence is deafening. Bieber's silence is perhaps the loudest statement of all. It's a silence that speaks of fear, perhaps, or a desire to protect himself. But it's also a silence that fuels speculation. Bieber's emotional interview from 2020 takes on new meaning. Visibly emotional, he spoke about wanting to protect young artists like Billie Eilish from the horrors of the industry. "It was hard for me being that young," he confessed, "and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From whom? What did he go through?" The pain in his voice is palpable, and the vulnerability is striking. Fans, and now the prosecution, are connecting the dots. Is Bieber hinting at his own trauma? Is he a victim himself? Is this a veiled cry for help? A subtle acknowledgement of the darkness he experienced? The interview becomes a piece of the puzzle, a clue to understanding Bieber's past. Diddy's legal troubles started with a single accusation, but they have ballooned into something much larger. The allegations are shocking: drugging, assault, a criminal enterprise. New lawsuits emerge almost daily, each one more disturbing than the last. The scope of the alleged abuse is staggering. It's not just a few isolated incidents, it's a pattern of alleged behavior that spans years. The sheer number of accusers suggests a systemic problem, a culture where abuse was allowed to flourish. Prosecutors claim Diddy's freak-offs, his private drug-fueled parties, were far more sinister than anyone imagined. Women, men, even celebrities were allegedly caught in the crossfire, manipulated and exploited. Phil Pines, Diddy's former executive assistant, described a laundry list of supplies for these parties: lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent, Pines claims. Many of these parties involved younger women. There's a power dynamic there, Pines explained. A more impressionable girl is easier to influence. The implications are chilling. These weren't just parties. They were allegedly orchestrated events designed for exploitation. Pine's testimony paints a disturbing picture of a world where anything goes, a world fueled by drugs and power. The parties, he claims, were more than just hedonistic gatherings. They were a means of control, a way to manipulate and exploit those who were invited. The details are graphic, the accusations shocking. They paint a picture of a man who used his wealth and influence to create a world where he was above the law, where the rules didn't apply. And the alleged victims, many of them young and vulnerable, were caught in his web. Bieber was around for all of it. And now, the question isn't just what he saw, it's whether he too was a victim. If the courtroom video is as damning as insiders claim, it could change everything. The past Bieber has been running from might finally be catching up. Will he be forced to confront it? The pressure on Bieber is immense. He holds a key, perhaps the key, to unlocking the truth. But speaking out comes at a cost. It means reliving the trauma, facing the scrutiny of the media, and potentially jeopardizing his career. It's a heavy burden to bear, especially for someone who has already been through so much. 50 Cent claims that many celebrities are silent about Diddy because they participated in these freak-offs. He asserts he's the only one who's been vocal because he didn't go to those parties. His accusations are pointed, suggesting a widespread complicity within the entertainment industry. Is he right? Or is this just 50 Cent being 50 Cent, stirring the pot as he often does? Regardless of his motives, his words raise uncomfortable questions. Is there a code of silence in Hollywood? A network of powerful people protecting each other? Are there others who knew what was happening but chose to look the other way? 50 Cent's accusations, whether true or not, add another layer of complexity to this already tangled story. They speak to the potential for a larger conspiracy, a system designed to protect the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable. The number of alleged victims continues to grow. A Texas law firm is now representing over 50 individuals, both men and women, who claim they were sexually assaulted by Diddy and his associates. Many were minors at the time of the alleged abuse. Each story is gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. The scale of the alleged abuse is staggering. It's not just about one man's actions, it's about a system that allowed him to operate with impunity for so long. It's a testament to the courage of these individuals, many of whom have waited years to tell their stories. Their voices are finally being heard, and their collective testimony paints a devastating picture. It's a picture of a man who allegedly used his power and influence to prey on the vulnerable. A man who allegedly created a world where abuse was normalized. It's a picture that's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. This case shines a spotlight on the culture of silence that often surrounds these kinds of allegations, especially when powerful figures are involved. Victims are often afraid to come forward, fearing retaliation, ostracism, or disbelief. The entertainment industry, in particular, has a history of protecting its own, even when faced with serious accusations. The stakes are high, and the risks for those who speak out can be enormous. Careers can be destroyed, reputations tarnished. It's a system that often favors the powerful, leaving the vulnerable to fend for themselves. This case, however, may be different. The sheer number of accusers, the mounting evidence, and the growing public pressure may finally be enough to break through the wall of silence. The landscape is shifting. The old rules are starting to crumble. The media plays a crucial role in cases like this, balancing the need to report on serious allegations with the responsibility to avoid prejudging the outcome. The speculation is rampant, the rumors are swirling, and it's difficult to separate fact from fiction. But one thing is certain. The public is watching, waiting to see how this story unfolds. The spotlight is on Diddy, on Justin Bieber, and on the entire entertainment industry. The media has a responsibility to report the facts accurately and fairly, to give voice to the alleged victims, and to hold those in power accountable. It's a delicate balance, but it's a crucial one.